Brought to you by...
Extraterrestrial horror is a subgenre that I have always been drawn to. Maybe it's my fascination with the terrors of the unknown, or the nightmares that linger over us all on a cosmic scale. Perhaps it's the idea that something far older and more advanced than we could imagine is out there, somewhere beyond our place among the stars, watching and cataloging us, possibly even manipulating us like rats in an ever-winding maze. Hello friends, and welcome back to ETF. If you like B-movies, then you are going to enjoy today's independent gem, as it takes you through its schlocky collection of scenes that have been described as the perfect midway point between Spielberg and Ed Wood. I'm not sure that I can agree with that descriptor, as this might have been the messiest attempt at a backdoor alien invasion that I've ever seen. Here, our protagonist Sarah travels to a hot spot in which supposedly one of the most extraordinary contact episodes with extraterrestrials in history took place. The forest ranger and a sinister villager accompany her, helping her to overcome the dangers that nature entails. However, despite good intentions, they will soon be attacked by a creature that lives in the depths of the forest, being forced to take refuge in an old abandoned military barracks. The opening moments of this film cut together almost like the trailer of a film rather than the beginnings of the film itself, placing credits over graphic template backgrounds and even slamming in on our title with a loud Inception blast. It felt almost like it could have been the teaser trailer for the film that they then just slapped on the beginning as some sort of hook. The remaining credits feel like the opening of a TV series, like American Horror Story, utilizing a flashy montage template with weird, creepy footage that likely has nothing to do with the film itself. The alien elements of this film are slowly introduced throughout, which causes some of it to drag out with slow attempts to build characters and relationships through extended dialogue scenes, and by intercutting fake VHS footage of some type of documentary about aliens. Which brings me to my next gripe. This film makes an attempt to introduce us to this VHS footage. I personally hate when films attempt to create supposedly old footage by shooting it with the same camera they shoot the rest of the film in. If you're going to do this, a couple of overlays aren't going to sell the effect. You need to put a lot more work into making it look like true VHS or film footage. The performances here are quite wooden and rough. Characters interact in ways that I can only describe as overly energetic. It feels to me like they were actors stepping from the world of the stage, who are overemphasizing each line and action to better convey them to a physical audience. A few of the performances are able to avoid this, still feeling very scripted, but keeping their tone and demeanor relevant to the screen. Every line of dialogue throughout this film feels incredibly bland and scripted, as if spoken word for word right off the page. This gives the characters a rigid effect that makes them hard to relate to. Our protagonist isn't the greatest actress, but she has a presence about her that somehow is comforting. Perhaps it's her soft features or her every woman visual style. However, there is something about her eyes in scenes that she's meant to be more serious that causes her to feel somewhat empty and lifeless. We are suddenly introduced to this male and female cop duo that almost feel like comic relief, as they butt heads throughout each of their scenes and only wind up serving as cannon fodder for the extraterrestrial threat. Honestly, the performances made this one hard to invest myself in. I never felt engaged by the characters or like their interactions were leading toward any sort of real payoff. It really doesn't help that no actors in the film seem capable of conveying emotion of any kind through their face. and when they try, it's almost laughable. I think it was a wise choice to keep the aliens hidden from us through the film. We see them mostly through fast blurs of shadow, silhouettes, and a strange orange POV angle. Since the choice was made to create the creatures in CGI, they look uncomfortably fake and don't quite fit into their environment to any effective degree. We watch them rush through the woods and skitter along the walls like a shiny blob that fails to interact in any way with the surfaces it's supposed to be moving along. Seriously, this CGI makes the film look no better than a Sci-Fi Channel original from the early 2000s. Aside from the alien POV, the camera work throughout the film is chosen to be kept smooth, slow, and consistent, which I did feel helped keep the pacing gradual and allowed for us as the audience to easily understand what was going on. Plus, I'm sure that made work far easier for CG animators. The lighting throughout the film uses harsh extremes, overlighting some scenes while intercutting them with ones that are dramatically underlit. The film chooses to shift us between the daylight forest environment and the dark, dingy remains of some old building that just happens to rest within them. This choice breaks up the monotony a bit, but I don't feel that either setting is utilized creatively enough to make the experience worthwhile. What few practical effects we do get are pretty well conceived and don't hold back in the gross out factor. It felt like this film went for broke by trying to pull in various elements of horror to appeal to more audiences, rather than just holding true to a sci-fi alien film. We see elements of gross out gore, we get the grimy Texas Chainsaw vibe with the weird nurse and her half-wit manservant. For some reason, outlandish choices are made at times, like I'm supposed to believe after cutting open her stomach with a shard of glass and ripping out her fetus, for some reason this broad is able to remain alive and not fucking bleed out. In truth, I'm not sure what this film was attempting to be, or why. For whatever reason, we are being spoon-fed a conspiracy plot to breed extraterrestrial beings on a budget lower than my status here on YouTube. I applaud the effort to be different, but fuck, this is shitty. I'm a huge fan of extraterrestrial cinema, but this one just didn't do anything for me. I'm giving Alien Invasion a D-. Also, I'm not sure why the film opens with a quote from Edgar Allan Poe. I personally didn't really see what this had to do with the movie in any way. It felt just tacked on in the beginning to make its schlocky mess feel more profound. Personally, unless you are into terrible Sci-Fi Channel quality films, then I wouldn't recommend this one. A lot of people ask me how I decide on what films to cover here on the channel. Truth be told, with the hundreds of streaming options that I have access to, it's quite easy to pick and choose from the lot. But one of the ways I keep myself stocked with new films to ponder is with Horror Pack. Horror Pack is a horror film subscription box that brings 4 carefully chosen fright flicks on your choice of either Blu-ray or DVD to your doorstep each month, bringing back a little bit of that video store nostalgia, without ever having to worry about returns or late fees. How does this work, you might ask? Using our affiliate link down in the description, just head on over to horrorpack.com. Choose your plan of either DVD or Blu-ray. Select the payment option that best suits your needs. The longer the plan, the more you save. The Frightful staff packs and ships your horror pack to you, so one day you wander out to your mailbox and find a tightly packaged nightmare waiting for your viewing pleasure. As I mentioned, Horror Pack offers a variety of payment plans that best fit your needs, starting at just $24.99 a month for a month-to-month plan. And the best part, not only are you introducing yourself to a whole new world of horrors, hassle-free, but you're watching your collection grow without ever having to lift a finger. So get yourself Horror Pack and grow your horror collection today. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider supporting ETF on Patreon. You don't have to give a lot, every little bit helps this channel grow and helps us bring you new content to enjoy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you aren't already. Click that bell icon to be notified on all our future videos, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching.